Friends, welcome. We're going to play the rock and roll shuffle. You know the thing we did yesterday when I said we could make one guitar sound like two? Well, we're going to do that right now. Had a lot of interest on this one. I'm going to try and speak up a bit because some people are a little bit hard of hearing, and I only use an iPad, so it's I've got no microphone. Everything we see is live, you know, so if you hear the odd mistake or whatever, it's live music, isn't it? So bear with me. I'll try and speak up a little bit, and I'll try and speak a little bit slower because we people from Liverpool, we tend to talk a bit quickly, you know, so I'll try to slow it down. Right, let's get straight on. This is what we're going to do. We're going to play the shuffle half of it. I demonstrated two yesterday. I'm going to start with this one. That one, okay? So first thing you have to do, download your paperwork. There's only a few pages of it, okay? And this will tell you where to put your fingers and what strings I want you to hit for those new to the channel. And there are a lot more today than there were yesterday, so I'm going to go over it again. These are your 12 frets. As you can see, you're going to have one finger across 4 strings here. I'll explain more as we go along. And this will tell you where your other fingers are going to go, in this case a 3rd string, all right? And these numbers here represent the string numbers 5 and 3. Arrows will indicate which way I want your pluck to go. And as if you didn't know that, I've actually put up and down as a D and a U. All right, so there we are, that's what we're going to do. So download the paperwork. It's not much of it, and it's really, really simple to follow. Idiot proof, idiot proof. So let's begin. One finger across 4 strings, okay? And this is what I want you to do with the right hand. Just go with me for now, just go with me. You're going to come, we're playing the chord A, it's an abbreviation of that A, but we're doing it like that, okay? So that's what this is all about. It's another way of playing A. And I want you to do this with the right hand. Down on the 5 and up on the 3. And I want you to do it twice. And then I want you to do the same thing, but come down on the 4th string this time, twice. So when I say twice, I mean, I'll do it again. Down on the 5, up on the 3. Down on the 5, up on the 3. Down on the 4, up on the 3. Down on the 4, up on the 3. Okay, so, and with a shuffle rhythm, we'll have this. Now, it doesn't sound like the rock and roll bass line yet because we haven't put it in. So, what you do now is you'll do the first down on the 5 and up on the 3, like this. But the second down on the 5, you'll add your 3rd finger to the 5th string of the 4th fret, and you'll only have it on for that beat. So, okay, and then onto the 4th string, down, up, and then you'll add that 3rd finger to the 4th string the second time. Now don't leave it on too long. Okay, so when you look at your paperwork for the A, which is here, I've indicated where your pluck will come down. It's very important that it comes down from the right string, okay? And this is where your fingers went on. And these are the strings that you hit. Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba. Okay? Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the chord A. Now we'll look at the how many times we do it in a minute, okay? But for now we just want to find out what to do. The next chord in a sequence is a chord D, which we'll play like this. You'll do exactly the same type of thing, but this time your pluck action has moved down 1 string, so you'll come down on the 4 and up on the 2. And again you'll sort of go down, up, down, up. Down on the 4, up on the 2, down on the 4, up on the 2. And then down on the 3, up on the 2, down on the 3, up on the 2. Okay, and again, your little finger will do some work now. So down on the 4, up on the 2, down on the 4 with your little finger on the 4th string of the 4th fret, up on the 2, down on the 3, without the little finger, and then the second time round. So we put it together, we've got so A, okay? All the paperwork will help you out with this. I'm keeping this brief because I know how irritated you get if they go on too long. Okay, the third chord in the sequence is an E. Now we're not going to play an E like this, we're going to abbreviate it with one finger again over the 5 and the 4. We're not going to play the 3, the 2 and the 1. It's very important that you don't hit them. So these little crosses here are there to say, don't hit these strings! Okay, very important. The arrow again will indicate which string should come down from. Same pick again, but this time instead of starting on the A string as we did on the A chord, or the D string as we did on the D chord, because we're playing the chord E, we are now going to come down from the 6th string. Why? Because it's the 6th string, it's called E. Alright, so down on the 6, up on the 4. And again. And then down on the 5, up on the 4, and then again. We've got this finger to put on. So down on the 6, up on the 4, down on the 6, up on the 4, but this time with the finger on, down on the 5, up on the 4, oops, and then down on the 5, up on the 4 with this finger on. Well, I tend to bring this finger off when I'm striking the 3 on the way up, so, or in this case the 4. So there are 3 main shapes on our rhythm for those 3 chords. Now, how do we put it together so it's 12 bar? So now you look at this final sheet, da, 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 in all its scribbly glory, and it says rock and roll shuffle chord layout 12 bar. Now you must have heard of 12 bar blues or 12 bar this and 12 bar that. These are the 12 bars, and this is the most typical order that you will find these chords in. And I've given you the little pleck action here, 1, and you see where it's got a little circle around the 2 and the 4, and that's where your fingers will go on. I've not done it all the way along with the arrows, but I've indicated quite clearly the beats where your fingers will go on. So there's your 12 bars, and what's this at the end? Well, when you get fed up and it's time to end, or you get to the end of your song, you will, instead of playing this final line here, you will substitute this final line with this. So you'll do the E, you will do the D, and then you'll do this little lick to end. So I'll just show you what that bit is first. So for the E, D, and that's what that little bit of tab is at the end. Da 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 da. Jing. We'll get to that. So, we've got 4 bars of A. Okay, so remember what we do. Down on the 5, up on the 4. Once. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. And then to your D. Twice. Back to A. To E, to D, to A, to E. Now, that can get very tiring, and if you get tired, as I often do, instead of doing the full bass line, you could actually, again, instead of playing up the individual strings, say for example A, instead of going, you can just go, where your third finger is just dropping onto the, in this case, the 4th string of the 4th fret. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it was D, it would go onto the 3rd string of the 4th fret. If it was E, it would go onto the 5th string of the 4th fret. And that just gives you a little bit of breathing space. So I'll mix it around a bit. I'm tired now, so I'll do that one. Oh, feel a bit better. E, I'll keep it simple. G simple. A. I'm going to end it in a sec. 12 bar shuffle, rock and roll. What you're doing in fact is you're playing a bass line and the chords at the same time, and it will make your guitar sound like two, and it really will. Okay, so instead of just doing this as Elvis would do and his bass player would be going, you're doing both. So there we are. I hope you've enjoyed that. Tomorrow we will look at the straight rhythm. Now one other thing, and some guitar teachers hate doing this, but they all do it. When you change, one of the things I know you're going to struggle with is changing from one chord to another. And there is a trick, and everybody does it, and I don't care what they say, they do it as well. They just don't realise they're doing it. Watch this. How do I get from A to D without ballsing it up? Watch this. Now, what I did then, which you clearly didn't notice, me you didn't, you know, I took my fingers off on the last half beat, the last and, if you like, before I went to the D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That sounds shit when you do it like that, but watch. You just don't hear it, you know. So, you know, you will hear it if you make a big mistake. Now, clearly, if it's something that's very slow, like bluesy, you can get away with it. But if it's fast, now one more tip. Some of you will find it difficult to stretch those frets. Get a capo, stick it on the 3rd fret. So, you know, do exactly the same thing, but you know, all the frets are nice and close together. I was putting a few more bits in there, which I'll show you again, because you can just keep building and building and building and building and building. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that first rock and roll lesson. We will do another one tomorrow. But in the meantime, download your paperwork, and if your chums or your friends like that sort of stuff, tell them to join the channel, to subscribe. It's all free, everything's free, all the downloads are free. Sorry if it's a bit quiet, but as I say, I'm only using an iPad mic, so you just have to bear with me. But download the paperwork and everything is simple because it's idiot proof. Right, I'm going to have my dinner. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.